Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we will be playing Fortnite OG. But here's the catch. For every time I die in a solo battle royale game, I will be reciting a chapter from Frank Herbert's Dune right here. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully we don't die because I don't like reading. Fun fact, my favorite place to land in Fortnite has always been Retail Row, because I used to watch Ali A. I used to watch the best Fortnite player ever, Ali A, and he said that his favorite place was Retail Row to land. So I have to take the mantle of the GOAT of Fortnite, and we gotta land Retail Row. Because that's what Ali A said. That's what Ali A said. So, just to make things clear, the second I die, I have to... Yo, we literally just found a legendary pump on the floor. Oh, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. That's some crazy things. Anyway, I was saying, just to make things clear, the second I die, I'm putting down the controller and we're going to recite a single chapter of Frank Herbert's Dune. And then if I die a second time in the next game, then we're just going to... if I die a second time if I die a second time in the next game, and I'm gonna recite another chapter, and we're gonna keep doing that until we get a victory royale. I'll be posting this in like January next year, because trust me, 2026 is my year. 2026 is the year of my existence, and then at the end of 2026 I will be the most successful man alive. I will be like Bill Gates. I will be like, oh flip me. Oh, frick me. What the hell was that? Why did he... He just came out of nowhere. I didn't like that. Oh. What was I even saying? I was talking about... Yeah, I will be like Bill Gates at the end of 2026. Oh, this guy's good though. Oh, I knew he was gonna do that as well. Oh my god! Oh my god, what the hell was that? But how did he dodge my rocket, bro? Oh my god. Screw this game, bro. A freaking chapter. Alright, we're gonna read a chapter of Dune then. Great. To attempt an understanding of Muad'Dib without understanding his mortal enemies, the Harkonnens, is to attempt seeing the truth without knowing falsehood. It is the attempt to see the light without knowing the darkness. It cannot be. From the Manual of Muad'Dib by the Princess Irulan. It was a relief globe of a world, partly in shadow, spinning under the impetus of a fat hand with glittered with rings. The globe that sat on a freeform stand at one wall of the windowless room, whose other walls presented a patchwork of multicolored scrolls, film books, tapes, and reels. Light glowed in the room from golden balls hanging in mobile suspenser fields. An ellipsoid desk with a top of jade pink, petrified lacquer wood stood at the center of the room. Veriform suspenser chairs ringed it, 2 of them occupied. In one sat a dark-haired youth of about 16 years, brown of face and with sullen eyes. The other held a slender short man with an effeminate face. Both youth and man stared at the globe, and the man half hidden in the shadows, spinning it. A chuckle sounded beside the globe. A basso voice rumbled out of the chuckle. There it is, Peter. The biggest man-trap in all history. And the Duke's headed into its jaws. It is not a magnificent thing that the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen, do. Abs- assur- ass- Absurdly, Baron, said the man. His voice came out tenor with a sweet musical quality. The fat hand descended onto the globe, stopped the spinning. Now all eyes in the room could focus on the motionless surface and see that it was the kind of globe made for wealthy collectors or planetary governors of the empire. It had the stamp of imperial handicraft about it. Latitude and longitude lines were laid in hair-fine platinum wire. The polar caps, they were in sets of finest cloud milk diamonds. The fat hand moved, tracing details on the surface. I invite you to observe, the basso voice rumbled. Observe closely, Peter, and you too, frayed Ralpha. My darling, from 60 degrees north to 70 degrees south. These exquisite ripples, their colouring, does it not remind you of sweet caramels? And nowhere do you see blue of lakes or rivers or seas, and these lovely polar caps so small. Could anyone mistake this place? Arrakis. Truly unique. A superb setting for a unique victory. A smile touched Peter's lips. And to think, Baron, the Padishah Emperor believes he's given the Duke your spice planet. How poignant. That's a nonsensical statement, the Baron rumbled. You say this to confuse young Feyd-Rautha, but it is not necessary to confuse my nephew. The sullen face youth stirred in his chest, smoothed a wrinkle in the black leotards he wore. He sat upright as a discreet tapping sounded at the door in the wall behind him. Peter unfolded from his chair, crossed to the door, cracked it wide enough to accept a message cylinder. He closed the door, unrolled the cylinder, and scanned it. A chuckle sounded from him. Another. Well, the Baron demanded. The fools answered us, Baron. Whenever did an Atreides refuse opportunity for a gesture? The Baron asked. Well, what does he say? He's most uncouth, Baron. Addresses you as the Harkonnen. No, Sir Escher, cousin. No title, nothing. It's a good name, the Baron growled, and his voice betrayed his impatience. What does dear Leto say? He says, your offer of the meeting is refused. I have oft times met your treachery, and this all men know. And, the Baron asked, he says, the art of Canley still has admirers in the Empire. He signs it. Duke of Leto of Arrakis. Peter began to laugh. Of Arrakis? Oh my! This is almost too rich. Be silent, Peter, the Baron said, and the laughter stopped as though shut off with a switch. Canley, is it? The Baron asked. Vendetta, eh? And he uses a nice old word so rich in tradition, to be sure I know he means it. You made the peace gesture, Peter said. The forms have been obeyed. For a mentat, you talk too much, Peter, the Baron said, and he thought, I must do away with that one soon. He has almost outlived his usefulness. The Baron stared across the room at his mentat assassin, seeing the feature about him that most people noticed first. The eyes, the shaded slits of blue within blue, the eyes without any white in them at all. A grin flashed across Peter's face. It was like a mask, grimaced beneath those eyes like holes. But, Baron, never has revenge been more beautiful. It is to see a plan of the most exquisite treachery, to make Leto exchange Caladan for Dune, and without alternative because the Emperor orders it. How waggish of you! In a cold voice the Baron said, You have a flux of the mouth, Peter, but I am happy, my Baron, whereas you are touched by jealousy. Peter! Aha, Baron, is it not regrettable you are unable to devise this delicious scheme by yourself? Some day I will have you strangled, Peter.
Of a certainty, Baron, anything. But a kind actor's never lost, eh? Have you been chewing the right just a muter, Peter? Truth without fear surprised the Baron, Peter said. His face drew down a caricature of a frowning mask. Aha, but you see, Baron, I know as a mentat you will send the executioner. You will hold back just long as I am useful. To move sooner would be wasteful, as I am not much of use. I know what is you, learn from that lovely Dune planet. Waste not, true Baron. The Baron continued to stare at Peter. Feyd-Rautha squirmed in his chair. These wrangling fools, he thought. My uncle cannot talk to his mentat without arguing. Do they think I've done nothing but to listen to their arguments? Feyd, the Baron said. I told you to listen and learn when I invited you here. Are you learning? Yes, uncle. Her voice was carefully subservient. Sometimes I wonder about Peter, the Baron said. I cause pain out of necessity, but I swear he takes a positive delight in it. For myself, I can feel pity toward the poor Duke Leto. Dr. Yui will move against him soon. That'll be the end of all treaties, but surely Leto will know whose hand directed the pliant doctor, and knowing that will be a terrible thing. Why haven't you directed the doctor to slip a kinjal between his ribs quietly and efficiently? Peter asked. You talk of pity, but the Duke must know when I accomplish his doing, the Baron said. The other great houses must learn of it. The knowledge will give them a pause. I'll gain a bit more room to maneuver. The necessity is a bit obvious, but I don't have to like it. Room to maneuver, Peter sneered. Already you have the Emperor's eyes on you, Baron. You move too boldly. One day the Emperor will send a legion or two of his Sarjuka down here onto Gaidi Prime, and that'll be an end to the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen. You'd like to see that, wouldn't you, Peter? The Baron asked. You'd enjoy seeing the corpse of Sarjoka pillage through my cities and sack his castle. You truly enjoy that? Does the Baron need to ask? Peter whispered. You shouldn't have been a basher of the corpse, the Baron said. You're too interested in blood and pain. Perhaps I was too quick with my promise of the spoils of Arrakis. Peter took 5 curiously mincing steps into the room, stopped directly behind Feyd-Rautha. There was a tight air of tension in the room. The youth looked up at Peter with a worried frown. Do not toy with Peter, Baron, Peter said. You promised me the Lady Jessica. You promised her to me. For what, Peter? The Baron asked. For pain? Peter stared at him, dragging out the silence. Feyd-Rautha moved his suspensor chair to one side, said, Uncle, do I have to say? You said you'd... My darling, Feyd-Rautha grows impatient, Baron said. He moved within the shadows beside the globe. Patience, Feyd. And he turned his attention back to the mentats. What of the dukeling, the child Paul? My dear Peter. The trap will bring him to you, Baron, Peter muttered. That's not my question, the Baron said. You'll recall that you predicted the Bene Gesserit witch would bear a daughter to the Duke. You were wrong, gay mentat. I'm not often wrong, Baron, Peter said, and for the first time there was fear in his voice. Give me that. I'm not often wrong, and you know yourself these Bene Gesserit bear mostly daughters. Even the Emperor's consort has produced only females. Uncle, said Feyd-Rautha, you said there'd be something important for me here, too. Listen to my nephew, the Baron said. He aspires to rule my barony, yet he cannot rule himself. The Baron stirred beside the globe, a shadow among shadows. Well then, Feyd-Rautha Harkonnen, I summoned you here hoping to teach you a bit of wisdom. Have you observed our good mentat? You should have learned something from the exchange. But uncle, the most efficient mentat, Peter, what do you say, Feyd? Yes, but... Ah, indeed, but he consumes too much spice. He eats it like candy. Look at his eyes. He might have come directly from the Arakian labor pool. Efficient, Peter, but he's still emotional and prone to passionate outbursts. Efficient, Peter, but he can still can. Peter spoke in a low, still, sullen tone. Did you call me here to impair my efficiency with criticism, Baron? Impair your efficiency? You know me better, Peter. I wish only for my nephew to understand the limitations of mentats. Are you already training my replacement? Peter demanded. Replacing you? Why, Peter, where could I find another mentor with your cunning and venom? The same place you found me, Baron. Perhaps I should at that. The Baron mused. You do seem a bit unstable lately. The spice you eat. Are my pleasures too expensive, Baron? Do you subject to them? My dear Peter, your pleasures are what tie you to me. How could I object to that? I merely wish my nephew to observe this about you. Then I'm on display, Peter said. Shall I dance? Shall I perform my various functions from the imminent fate? Precisely, the Baron said. You are on display. Now be silent. He glanced at Fade Ralpher, noting his nephew's lips, with a full of pouting look at him. The Harkonnen genetic marker now twisted slightly in amusement. This is a mentor, Fade. It has been trained and conditioned to perform certain duties. The fact that it's encased in a human body, however, must not be overlooked. A serious drawback that I sometimes think the ancients with their thinking machines had the right idea. They were toys compared to me, Peter snarled. You, yourself, Peter, Baron, could outperform these machines. Perhaps, the Baron said. Ah, well, he took a deep breath. Now, Peter, outline for my nephew the salient features of our campaign against the House of Atreides. Function as a mentor for us, if you please. Baron, I've warned you not to trust one so young with his information. My observations of... I'll be the judge of this, the Baron said. I'll give you an order, mentor. Perform one of your various functions. So be it, Peter. Straightened, assumed an odd attitude of dignity, as though it was another mask, but this time clothing his entire body. In a few days' standard, the entire household of the Duke Leto will embark on a spacing guild liner to Arrakis. The guild will deposit them at the city of Arrakeen, rather than at our city of Carthage. The Duke's mentor, Tufa Hawat, will have concluded rightly that Arrakeen is easier to defend. Listen carefully, Fade, the Baron said. Observe the plans within plans. Fade Ralph nodded, thinking, this is more like it. The old monster's letting me on a secret things at last. He must really mean for me to be his heir. These are several tangential possibilities, Peter said, and indicate that House Traders will go to Arrakis. We must not, however, ignore the possibility the Duke has contracted within the Guild to remove him to a place of safety outside of the system. Others in like circumstances have become renegade houses, taking family atomics and shields and fleeing beyond the Imperium. The Duke's too proud of a man for that, the Baron said. It is a possibility, Peter said. The ultimate effect for us would be the same, however. No, it would not, the Baron growled. I must have him dead and his line ended. That's the high possibility, Peter said. There are certain preparations that indicate when a house is going to renegade. The Duke appears to be doing none of those things. So, the Baron sighed. Get on with it, Peter. At Arrakeen, Peter said. The Duke and his family will occupy the residency lately at the home of Count and Lady Fenring. Ambassador to the smugglers. The Baron chuckled. Ambassador to the what? Phaedra asked. Your uncle makes a joke, Peter said. He calls Count Fenring ambassador to the smugglers, indicating the Emperor's interest in smuggling operations on Arrakis. Phaedra turned a puzzled stare at his uncle. Why? Don't be so dense, Fade. Baron snapped. As long as the guild remains effectively outside Imperial control, how could it be otherwise? How else could spies and assassins move about it? Vader Ralph's mouth made a soundless "Oh." We've arranged diversions at the residency, Peter said. There'll be an attempt on the line on the life of the Atreides heir. An attempt which could succeed. Peter, the Baron rumbled. I indicated accidents can happen, Peter said, and the attempt must appear valid. Ah, but the lad has such a sweet young body, the Baron said. Of course he is potentially more dangerous than the father. With that, witch mother training him. A cursed woman. Ah, well, please continue, Peter. Hawat will have divined that we have an agent planted on him. Peter said. The obvious suspect is Dr. Hui, who is indeed our agent, but Hawat has investigated it and found that our doctor is a Suk School graduate with Imperial conditioning. Supposedly safe enough to minister even to the Emperor. Great store is set on an Imperial conditioning. It's assumed that ultimate conditioning cannot be removed without killing the subject. However, as someone once observed, given a right lever, you can move a planet. Well, we found that lever that moved to the Doctor. How? Phaedra asked. You found this a fascinating subject. Everyone knew you couldn't subvert Imperial conditioning. Another time, the Baron said. Continue, Peter. In place of Yui, Peter said, we'll drag a most interesting suspect across the Hawat's path. The very audacity of this subject will recommend her to Hawat's attention. Her, Phaedra asked. Lady Jessica herself, the Baron said. Is it not sublime? Peter asked. Hawat's mind will be so filled with this prospect it will impair his functions as a mentat. Peter forwarded, but I don't think he'll be able to carry it off. You don't want him to, eh? The Baron asked. Don't distract me, Peter said. While Hawat's occupied with the Lady Jessica, we'll divert him further with uprisings in a few garrison towns and the like. These will be put down. The Duke must believe he's gaining a measure of security, then when the moment is ripe, we'll signal Yui and move in our feature first. Go ahead, tell him all of it, Baron said. We'll move in strengthened by 2 legions of Sarduka, disguised in Harkonnen's library. Sarduka, Phaedra breathed, his mind focused on the dread Imperial troops, the killers without mercy, the soldier fanatics of the Padishah Emperor. You see how I trust you, Fade, the Baron said. No hint of this must ever reach another great house, else the Landsraad might unite against the Imperial House and there would be chaos. The main point, Peter said, is this. Since House Harkonnen is being used with Imperial dirty work, we've gained a true advantage. It's a dangerous advantage to be sure, but if used cautiously will bring House Harkonnen great wealth than that of the other houses in the Imperium. We have no idea how much wealth is involved, Fade, the Baron said. Not in your wildest imaginations. To begin, we'll have an irrevocable cable directorship in the Coam company. Vidrafa nodded. Wealth was the thing. Coam was the key to the wealth. Each noble house dipping from the company's offers whatever it could under the power of the directorships. Those Coam directorships, they were the real evidence of political power in the Imperium. Passing with the shifts of voting strength with the Landsraad as it balanced itself against the emperors and his supporters. The Duke Leto, Peter said, many attempt to flee to the few Fremen scum along the desert edge, or he may try to send his family into that imagined security. That path is blocked by one of His Majesty's agents, a planetary ecologist. You may remember him, Keynes. Vade remembers him, the Baron said. Get on with it. You do not drool very prettily, Baron, Peter said. Get on with it. I command you, the Baron roared. Peter shrugged, as to go as planned. He said, House Harkonnen. House Harkonnen will have a sub-brief of Arrakis of a standard year. Your uncle will have dispensation of that fief. His house own personal agent will rule on Arrakis. More profits, Phaedra said. Indeed, the Baron asked, and he thought it's only just whether the ones who tamed Arrakis, except the few mongrel Fremen hiding in the skirts of the desert and some tame smugglers bound to the planet almost as tightly as the native labour pool. And the great houses will know that the Baron has destroyed the Atreides. Peter said, well, no, they will know, the Baron breathed. Loveliest of all, Peter said, is that Duke will know too. He knows now. He can already feel the trap. It's true the Duke knows, the Baron said, and his voice held a note of sadness. You couldn't help but know. More's the pity. The Baron moved out and away from the globe of Arrakis. As he emerged from the shadows, his figure took on dimension, grossly and immensely far, and with subtle bulges beneath folds of dark robes to reveal that all his fat was sustained partly by portable suspensors harnessed to his flesh. He might weigh 200 standard kilos in actuality, but his feet would carry no more than 50 of them. I am hungry, the Baron rumbled, and he rubbed his protruding lips with burnished hands, stared down at Phaedra through the fat enfolded eyes. Send for food, my darling. We will eat before we retire. Oh!
Okay, we're back in another game. I'm gonna land somewhere like... I'm gonna land Retail Row again. I almost got a win from landing Retail Row. Tilted Towers I just got like absolutely destroyed. That was really unlucky. Cause I don't want to play it too safe, because I want an entertaining video. But we gotta at least have a little bit of like, yeah, we don't want to die immediately, kind of thing, because otherwise there's just. I want it to be like 60% Fortnite and 40% reading a book, because this is actually just a really boring process. Because I don't even own a PC. Like I don't have storage. Storage is like a very sacred resource to me, because I record and edit all these videos on my phone, on my PlayStation, on Fortnite. So you can understand my frustration when I have to read a book. Cause I don't want to read a book because it takes up storage recording that, but that's part of the challenge, isn't it? But we did just get an OP gun. We did just get like the most OP gun in the game, so we're gonna lock in. That guy probably didn't even have a gun. That guy's really low. I'm not pushing down it. Whoa, 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 whoa. I almost got sniped. We're gonna try and move like to the other side. We are technically in circle here. Are we in circle? I think we're like just about in circle. I don't think I'm even in circle. I better be in circle, because it looks like I'm in circle. I think the last two guys are fighting each other and not me, so that's good. Okay, we're gonna find out if we're in circle or not. Oh, just about. We're gonna have to move again. Oh, I don't want to do this. Do we drop this gun? I think we do. But it has carried me quite a lot. I think we dropped the gun. I think Tank Grapple should. Well, no, because I'm saying that only has one on it. We're taking this. Oh, but perchance, how much those we have? Oh god, we got flipping cooked. Why did that? Is there a guy up there? Oh god, he sees me. But I'm cooked. That guy's right there. I'm like Kirk Henry cooked. Unless I take this into... I'm hoping he doesn't know where I am. But I think he does. I'm not gonna fight him. I'm letting that guy run away. Oh my god! Oh my flipping god! Oh my god! Nah, I did not think I was gonna win that, bro. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god, I don't have to read any more of that goddamn book. Oh my freaking god. Oh my... I got 7 kills. Oh, frick. Oh. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like the smash button, hit the subscribe button, and comment down below for what you want me to do next. And I'll see you guys next time in Fortnite OG. Goodbye.